Hey everybody, Kimberly here, and I'm excited to give you an overview and a close look at finding Atlantis and what makes this deduction game really interesting and engaging because it's all app driven with your phone and you're going to be playing cards to navigate this map, trying to look for Atlantis, but also probably finding some artifacts along the way that will help you in your race to find Atlantis. So this is a 1 to 4 player game, and you can play by yourself, which I am now. I set up the app to also include an AI U-bot that's going to run its own turn in the system so that I don't see what they're doing. And I've got this player screen right here because I wanted to show you that you're going to set up your area with your player screen because you don't want people to know where your boat is if you can silently run and sneak away where they don't get intel on your turn. But I'm going to take this off because I'm now going to show you the top-down view, and I want you to be able to see everything, but you will be screening all of your moves. Now, I have to say that right now I've got this set up for a 6x6 grid. You'll see that your player sheet allows it to go 8x8 or 6x6. And so we're going to stay just in the white zone right now, and this is the riddle. This is what we're hunting for. We're trying to find all the Atlantis spaces. And the Atlantis spaces are going to be connected orthogonally or diagonally. You'll notice here that those are examples of what the configuration can look like. You also might find artifacts, those are the asterisks, and there are going to be 4 of them randomly placed out anywhere inside the ocean. There are going to be traces of civilization, which are Atlantis and artifacts, are always on seamounts. Seamounts are those mountains. We'll see those little crags. Traces of civilization are always surrounded by seamounts orthogonally, always. These are the rules of the game, so it's important to remember where things are and where those objects are. And then all remaining spaces are just deep ocean spaces. So that's the rule, that's the goal, this is what we're going for, this is our riddle. Now, players are going to receive 2 captains, and they're going to pick from the 2. And the one that I picked is called the Astrologist. I get to play this on my turn as one of my cards. I have a hand of cards and we all have the same ones, but this one's different and it's also secret, and I liked that. And that was one reason why I picked this card. So this one says select any space and check if it contains traces of civilization. I think that's really powerful. I'm just excited because I could just pick any space on the entire map no matter where I am and just say, does that have a trace of civilization? And if it does, I can drive my boat all the way over there and explore it. So I think having an astrologist is super important. So I'm going to add the astrologist to my hand, and I'm going to take a look at my other cards because on my turn, I'm going to be able to play 2 actions. I will have 2 turns to do things. And generally you're playing cards or you are surfacing. Surfacing allows you to take back your played action cards and your captain card back into your hand, including this one, but when you do that, you reveal your location to your opponents. And again, they can get information when it's your turn, not their turn, and then they can maybe start to find things a little bit faster, so you have to be pretty sneaky about what you're doing, but you're all racing around silently in your space. And the other thing to keep in mind too is I'm going to pull my app up. I've got it already ready to go. This tells us where everyone begins the game and what the orientation of the map is. So I have everything set up right now with a north, south, east, and west. And you'll see here that I've got those lined up right the way it says. So my U-bot is up here and I am right here in the middle of that square. So I'm going to click check and it's going to say astrologist. That's me. I'm the green player. It says this secret action is for your eyes only. So I am going to push my next move, and it says, select a direction, secretly move your submarine 1 space in that direction. So while everyone has a start location, you are now going to be able to move 1 direction in one of those cardinal directions secretly behind your screen, and no one knows which direction you've gone. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to move 1 down, so I'm going to push south. Okay, astrologist, play, you can scan a card and then discard it. So I'm going to look at my cards. I don't want to surface just yet. Maybe I just want to do astrologist and just look far away and see if there's something in a distant corner or back here in the space where I was so I know I can move away from it. Maybe I'll do that. So what you have to do is you have to hold your card out over your phone, and the picture is going to take a picture of it, and it's actually going to scan it and then have you do your action. Okay, so I'm just going to hold my card out over this. I'm going to hold it over. It scanned it. And then it says, astrologist, this secret action is for your eyes only. So I'm going to make sure that no one's looking at the phone when I do this. I'm going to click it, and it says, select any space and tap the button to check if it contains any traces of civilization. So maybe I should check on the space where I just was, or I can keep that and I can take a look at the 8 spaces surrounding me. So maybe I want to check, I want to check this one all the way up in the corner, and then I know I can just drive away from it. So I'm going to select that corner. I'm essentially picking this space right up there, and I'm going to check it. You ready? No traces of civilization at all. So I'm going to put a big X there. There's nothing up there in that corner, and I'm happy because I just think it's a bunch of deep water. I think it's a bunch of nothing. So I'm going to push check. That was one of my 2 turns. I get to take another turn. You'll see your colors actually light up here. So sonar says I can check the 8 spaces surrounding me, and I can look for seamounts and deep oceans. That tells me, again, if there's seamounts, there's a possibility of civilization. If it's deep ocean, there's absolutely nothing of value there. I can literally just look at the space beneath me, and if I find an artifact, I will draw an artifact card. So it may try to reveal the location. This might not be the worst thing to find out here. Then I have 2 of these cards that allow me to secretly move 1 or 2 spaces. It's a long silent running and silent running. So that's also a good way to get away from people knowing where you are. And then this guy. I think I might actually play Jelly Rod. I think I'm going to play Jelly Rod because it says scan 2 adjacent spaces on opposite sides of your submarine for traces. And it says mind the orientation of the compass needle, because you have to always make sure that you are pointing your card, you're holding your card out in the direction that you want to go, either this way or this way. So that's also really important. So let's say I want to search for this space and this space, or this space and this space. Which one do I want to do? Or I can simply do my sonar, check the 8 spaces surrounding me for seamounts, and then I can search a little bit better. I think I might do this, because if I look at all the spaces around me and I find just trash, then I know not to search there for it, because it's just going to be empty sea space. So I'm going to scan sonar. Here we go. It scanned. Mountains all around me. That is massive. So I would just say mountain, mountain, mountain. I guess I should have done the double hunt. Gosh, I'm surrounded by it. So again, the rules are that traces are always on seamounts. So if I've got artifacts in Atlantis, there might be a chance that I've got one of those hiding underneath those spaces. But I played my second action. That's it. I'm going to have to say now it's Blue's turn, and you're going to see this little blue down here. And it says, your turn, U-Bot, play or scan a card and then discard it. And then what they do here is they always want to make sure that you know that the U-Bot has gone. So they always have you click next action. And so it just prevents you from kind of skipping through or missing something. So next action, Blue went, oh, sonar gave him this result. Interesting. So now I've got this information. Let me show it to you. This is the information from Blue's action of looking for sonar. Lots and lots of deep water, but one corner of it has mounts. But the thing is, I don't know which direction Blue went with its free move. Did it go here, here, or here? Because if it went here, it wouldn't show that result, because I know for a fact that those are there. I'm going to make an assumption and say that I think Blue went this direction, because you can only ever move orthogonally. And that Blue found that this is yuck, 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 yuck. Oh, wait, this is the mountain. Okay, here we go. Let me take this back. Sorry. I'm looking at it because you can go up into the blue space and it just shows deep water above. But this one is a mountain. Okay. Now, this is one thing you get to experience in the game is you have to make some educated guesses. You also have to make some marks on your map. You have to kind of like erase and draw things and try to figure out where everybody is. Again, I made the assumption that he went that direction from the starting space because of that configuration and only because I did sonar. So that's it. Next action. You secretly moved 2 spaces. Oh, okay, so now, well, they found out all this information and then they drove 2 spaces away. I think that they don't like that there's a lot of deep water here, and I'm going to have them, I think it's going to go, so start was here. I think they went this way, and I think they went this way 2 spaces. Okay, so these are some assumptions. I'm making a lot of assumptions here, but I may not base everything off of assumptions. I'm just going to like mark what I know. But now it's my turn again, so I'm excited. Your turn, astrologist. Play a card, scan a card. I'm going to jelly rod because I'm sitting in a space where I have good intel, and I think I need to find out stuff before it's too late. And then maybe if I find something good, I might explore underneath me because there might be an artifact underneath me. Who knows? So I think I'm going to go this direction as opposed to this direction because, again, that's going to be up and down. This is going to be side to side. And you got to play your card the way you want to scan. So Jelly Rod is just going to look at the 2 spaces and try to find if there is going to be any traces of civilization. And ha! Ha ha! Ha! Cool! Okay, so no traces this way, and then yes traces this way. Do you see that? Fantastic. So here's what I discovered. There is a trace right there. There's not a trace on that side. And I'm going south and I'm going west and east. Super. So that's going to be one of my actions. Jelly Rod is being shown. Oh, and it's also public information. So this is not private information. So if they know where I am, they just got intel. Let's secretly move one direction. This is secret information, so I don't necessarily have to point my card in a direction because I don't want them to know which way I'm going, but I am going to go and try to find out what's going on in that space over there. So I'm going to play my card, and it's going to ask me, just for my eyes only, select a direction. I want to move west. There I go. I click west, and now I have moved that direction over there, and I'm standing on top of that cool information. And that's it, though. I only got to do 2 things on my turn. We're going to let blue go. Blue, scan a card. Jelly Rod, and he found something. If I think he's here, he found something of interest right here, and I think that that's true. I think that's where it is. I'm really, really interested. Next action. You secretly moved 1 space. I think he moved right here. I think he moved 1 space to that direction, and I think we're both converging at a very similar place. So now I am going to scan a card, and I'm going to explore where I am. This is public information, but exploring just finds out what's underneath you. If it's Atlantis, you can try to reveal its entire location and end the game, which is what you need to do at the end, but if it's an artifact, you also get that card. I really, really want an artifact card. Holy squid! You found Atlantis! Fantastic. Okay, so I know that this is Atlantis for sure. I'm going to put an A like this, like I found Atlantis. It turned it into an Atlantis. And so the choice is I can go back to the game, which I will, or I can reveal Atlantis and solve the game. I don't know where the other places of Atlantis are. I just don't. There's no way. It could have been where I was standing. It could be any of those spaces. It could be any of those spaces. And it could be exactly where blue is right now. And if blue does something and reveals it next time, I might get that intel because I think that's where blue is. Now, I don't know for a fact. You're probably sitting there yelling at me going, "What are you doing, Kim? That's crazy." I'm going to go back to the game. And now I have my second action. So what I can do is I can surface, but then I give information to my fellow players. So I can secretly move 2 spaces in one direction for my silent running before I surface, and I think I might actually do that so I can kind of get away from my space. Secret information. So scan it. There we go. And then I'm going to secret action. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to move my submarine 2 spaces in that direction. And I want to go, well, I know there's nothing over here. If I go down, I can scan these 2 spaces to find out what's going on. If I go up, I can scan, but I don't think there's that much going on above me. So I'm going to go south. 1, 2. And I'm essentially going to surface because that's the only card that I have in my hand. So I'll be doing that next time. So let's find out what blue wants to do. I think blue is totally... Squid, you found Atlantis. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. Okay, so I think this is Atlantis for sure. I think that's where they are, is right there on that Atlantis space. And then it's going to be next action. You have surfaced. Take back all your action cards. Oh no! Oh no, they were 1 space away. Oh man. Okay, so wait, I did an assumption. So it says you surfaced. Okay, so this guy, he was here. He was here when he surfaced. So this might not be Atlantis. And if he went this direction down to and over 1, maybe he went down 1 over 2. Nope. How does this go? Over 1, down 2, over 1. I don't think I did the assumption right with the maths. I'm not sure this is coming up where he's sitting in this space right here. Did he go down 1? Nope. Over 1. Oh boy. I think I got all mixed up. And now I think perhaps I'm going to surface. So we're going to surface it up. Okay, there we go. I surfaced, and I surfaced where I knew I was. Sometimes you might surface in places because you're not sure exactly where you are due to all kinds of cards. But that's my first one. I'm going to take all my cards back into my hand, and then I'm going to, I think I might want to do my captain, because then I can pick any space I want to find out if it's going to be an artifact or if it's going to be, well, it says traces of civilization. I think I want to look either where I was or up here. I think I want to look in that corner space where I thought he was. Yeah, because it's orthogonally connected to the other one. So let's do this as my second action. All right, this is for my eyes only. And I'm going to check any space, and I want to pick this one right there. So let's click that guy. Question mark, yes. No traces. All right, so I can get that out of my head. I thought it was. There's no traces at all. This was the only one, and we both found it, and now it is just a full-on race. So this is it. Players are going to be taking 2 turns playing cards from their hand, either moving or searching for seamounts or civilization. And I have to show you these artifact cards because the artifact cards are cool. Now, again, we both have found one of the 4 spaces of Atlantis. We know Atlantis is orthogonally or diagonally connected with 4 spaces. These are the really, really cool artifact cards. You can find these cards. It says here, you can play these cards just like you would any other card, but they are essentially one time only. View all remaining and excavated artifacts on the map. You can go and find this stuff. I mean, these cards are insane. Guiding Amulet. Check how many Atlantis spaces are in each quadrant. That would come handy right now because I could figure out essentially where the rest of those Atlantis spaces are because it's kind of in the center. Poseidon's Horn. View the locations of all players and sea monsters. If you're playing with a multiplayer game and with sea monsters and attack cards, that is a very valuable artifact. You got Atlantean Wine. You can sense the presence of Atlantis in the 8 spaces surrounding you. I would have done anything to have this card when I was standing right here and I wanted to look around me and I found all those seamounts. I would have loved that. Just amazing. This gives you the layout of Atlantis spaces, but not the precise location, so it gives you the configuration of where they are. These cards are so... Bermuda Square. This is so, so cool. Portal to Atlantis, teleport to a random space of Atlantis, but where are you? You'd probably want to surface after that, but since this is public information, you might want to do a secret move and then surface so nobody knows exactly where you surfaced to find Atlantis. Frozen wave. Select a quadrant. All submarines are within or teleported to random spaces. You could really mess up players' like everything. That could be a real mess. Eternal hourglass. Free action. Carry out 2 extra actions. You just get to do a lot of stuff on your turn. Tainted Grail, all other players must discard 2 cards. Surface and artifact cards may not be among them. They have to discard all their other action cards and even their captain card. And then Seed of Youth, free action, refill your hand without resurfacing. And so you get to take an entire other turn without having to come up. You just get your cards back and then you can keep playing and then you don't have to resurface for public information. So artifacts are just dynamite. And again, you can play with the bots on the phone, you can play up to 4 players, and you can also play with those more aggressive ways of playing with mines and with monsters. So just a ton of stuff here, and if you like a good deduction game with a little bit of mystery and a hunt and a race, this is it for you. So if you want to play that 45 to 60 minute game, Finding Atlantis, nice deduction, fast turns, you do have to have your phone with the app, but boy is it fun. Just a real delight. So this is Finding Atlantis, and I will see you later, folks. Bye.